Over 200,000 Texas homeowners could be on the brink of losing their homes by 2026. Mortgage delinquencies are rising, property values are dropping, and thousands of families are silently slipping into financial quicksand. It's not just happening in struggling neighborhoods either. Some of the fastest-growing, wealthiest cities in Texas are showing signs of serious trouble. What's causing this sudden shift? A dangerous mix of sky-high property taxes, soaring insurance rates, and adjustable-rate mortgages set to reset at brutal new interest rates. Many Texans who bought homes during the 2020 to 2022 real estate boom are now facing monthly payments they simply can't afford. The housing dream is turning into a debt-fueled nightmare. In this video, we're breaking down the 10 Texas cities most at risk of a mortgage bloodbath in 2026. You'll be shocked to see which areas are on the edge, and some might even be in your own backyard. Number 1. Austin, Texas. The city that once symbolized innovation, tech growth, and skyrocketing home values is now teetering dangerously close to a mortgage disaster. Between 2020 and 2022, Austin became one of the hottest housing markets in the country, with home prices soaring by over 65% in just 2 years. Buyers rushed in, often overbidding and waiving inspections, believing they were investing in a booming future. But what goes up fast often comes crashing down even faster. Today, many of those homes are worth significantly less than what people paid, leaving them underwater on their mortgages. The problem is even worse for homeowners with adjustable-rate mortgages, ARMs, which were incredibly popular during the buying frenzy. Thousands of those loans are scheduled to reset in 2026, and when they do, monthly payments could spike by 30% or more overnight. Combine that with rising property taxes and higher insurance premiums, and many residents are now bracing for financial impact. Some are already falling behind, and default rates are slowly creeping up in outer suburbs like Pflugerville, Manor, and Buda, areas once seen as affordable alternatives to the city center. Austin's tech sector, which helped fuel the boom, is now struggling with layoffs and hiring freezes. When jobs disappear and home values decline, people stop spending. The ripple effect could drag down entire neighborhoods. What's scary is that, on the surface, Austin still looks like it's thriving. But beneath the buzz of food trucks and festivals, there's a growing sense of unease. And for many homeowners, the mortgage bomb ticking beneath their feet may explode in 2026. If you think Austin's immune because it's the Silicon Valley of the South, think again. Number 2. Dallas, Texas, a city known for big dreams, big business, and even bigger houses, is now facing some big financial trouble. During the pandemic-era housing surge, Dallas saw a massive influx of out-of-state buyers and investors who were convinced the market would never slow down. But now, that optimism is wearing thin. According to recent data, mortgage delinquencies in Dallas have risen by over 12% in the past year, with many homeowners struggling to keep up as costs spiral out of control. One major issue is the high concentration of adjustable-rate and subprime mortgages in Dallas County. These riskier loans were heavily used by buyers trying to stretch their budget to afford rising prices between 2020 and 2022. In 2026, thousands of these loans will reset, sending monthly payments soaring. And unlike Austin, Dallas's real estate crisis is being felt across middle and working-class neighborhoods, where household incomes haven't kept up with inflation. Homeowners who were already barely making it are now being hit with higher mortgage payments, property taxes, and skyrocketing insurance rates all at once. And there's another twist. Investors may have made the situation worse. Many homes in Dallas were snapped up by institutional buyers and turned into rentals. Now, as the rental market cools and profit margins shrink, these same investors are dumping properties back onto the market. That's pushing home values down further, putting even more pressure on already stressed homeowners. From South Dallas to Mesquite and Garland, signs of financial stress are spreading. Dallas may be one of Texas's biggest economic engines, but when it comes to mortgages, that engine is starting to sputter, and unless something changes fast, thousands of homeowners could be left behind in the dust. Number 3, Houston, Texas, the energy capital of the country, is facing a different kind of energy crisis: financial burnout for homeowners. While Houston has long been known for its affordable housing compared to other major metros, that affordability is fading fast. In just the past 18 months, home insurance premiums in Houston have surged by over 40%, especially in flood-prone and hurricane-exposed areas. Add in rising property taxes, and many families are seeing their monthly costs explode, even if their mortgage payment hasn't changed yet. The real concern? Many Houston residents purchased homes with minimal down payments during the real estate rush, especially first-time buyers. That leaves them with little equity to fall back on if prices drop. And that's exactly what's happening. Certain parts of the metro area, like Katy, Pearland, and the outskirts of Spring, are seeing home values dip, even while demand slows. As mortgage rates reset in 2026, thousands of Houston homeowners could be hit with payment increases they can't handle, especially those holding ARMs from the 2021 to 2022 buying wave. For many, the dream of owning a home in Houston may soon turn into a financial burden they can't escape. And the job market isn't as stable as it once was. While Houston's economy is diverse, the oil and gas sector remains a major player, and with global energy markets facing uncertainty, layoffs and pay cuts could worsen financial pressure on families. Foreclosures are already ticking upward, and experts warn this is just the beginning. The scary part? Houston looks stable on the surface, but just like with rising floodwaters, the real damage often starts underneath. Quietly, steadily, and without warning. By the time most people notice, it could be too late to float above the crisis. Number 4. San Antonio, Texas, when too much growth becomes too much risk. San Antonio was once considered one of Texas's most affordable and stable housing markets. A safe bet for families looking to settle down without the sky-high prices of Austin or Dallas. But that image is quickly changing. Between 2020 and 2023, the city saw an explosion in new home construction, especially in areas like New Braunfels, Converse, and the far west side. That rapid expansion has now created an oversupply of homes, which might sound like good news, until you realize it's dragging down property values, just as costs for homeowners are spiking across the board. The biggest concern in San Antonio is the gap between incomes and housing costs. Many families who bought during the boom are now watching their equity shrink while property taxes and homeowners insurance continue climbing. And for those with adjustable-rate mortgages or thin savings, 2026 could be the year everything unravels. Some are already feeling the heat, especially in newer developments where homes were bought at peak prices with little financial cushion. If home values keep sliding, many owners may find themselves underwater, owing more than their house is worth. And that's when foreclosures tend to follow. What's even more worrying is the rising rate of early delinquencies. People missing payments just 30 or 60 days into their loan term. That's a red flag for financial stress, and experts say it could be the start of a much larger wave. While San Antonio still has strong job sectors in healthcare and the military, it doesn't take much to tip the balance. A single unexpected bill, job loss, or mortgage reset could push families over the edge. The city may not be making headlines yet, but behind the scenes, the pressure is building fast. Number 5. Killeen, Texas, military town, civilian crisis in the making. At first glance, Killeen seems like it should be immune to economic turmoil. Anchored by Fort Cavazos, one of the largest military bases in the country, Killeen's housing market has long been supported by steady demand from active-duty service members and veterans. But that stability is now starting to crack. Many homes in the area were purchased using VA loans with zero down payment, which means buyers have very little equity built up. If home values drop even slightly, as they've begun to in 2024, those owners could find themselves trapped in homes they can't sell and can't afford to keep. What makes Killeen especially vulnerable is how tightly tied the local economy is to federal defense spending. Any slowdown, budget cuts, or extended government shutdowns could ripple through the city almost overnight. In fact, during past shutdowns, some military families fell behind on mortgage payments within weeks. Now, with adjustable-rate mortgages set to reset in 2026 and rising costs of living across the board, many homeowners are living dangerously close to the edge. Property taxes in Bell County have increased sharply, and insurance rates, particularly in older neighborhoods, are also creeping higher, squeezing household budgets even more. And while Killeen hasn't had the flashy boom of Austin or Dallas, It quietly saw double-digit price increases during the pandemic buying spree. That's a problem when those inflated values don't hold, especially for lower-income families who stretched their budgets to buy. If the military town that once symbolized security starts seeing a wave of foreclosures, the impact could be both deep and widespread. Killeen's greatest strength, its military community, could also become its financial Achilles heel. If you've made it this far, you're the kind of viewer we create these videos for, informed, curious, and ahead of the curve. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Which city surprised you the most? Or do you think your own city should have made the list? Also, check out our previous video for even deeper insights into the housing market. It's packed with info you won't hear on the news. And hey, if you appreciate the effort we put into researching and creating these videos, one click to subscribe means the world to us. Seriously, it keeps this channel going. Number 6. McAllen, Texas, a hidden crisis brewing on the border. McAllen might not be the first city that comes to mind when you think of a mortgage crisis, but that's exactly what makes it so concerning. Quietly, this border city has become one of the most financially fragile housing markets in Texas. Home prices surged during the pandemic, but now, as the economy slows and trade activity with Mexico fluctuates, McAllen's growth is hitting a wall. The region has a high percentage of low to moderate income households, and many buyers entered the market with minimal savings and little financial margin for error. What makes McAllen uniquely vulnerable is the lack of economic diversity. The city's job market is heavily reliant on sectors like retail, cross-border commerce, and small-scale manufacturing, all of which are highly sensitive to inflation, global trade shifts, and supply chain slowdowns. As interest rates climbed, the housing market cooled fast. Now, with adjustable-rate mortgages scheduled to reset in 2026, and many homeowners already struggling with rising utility bills and food costs, the pressure is mounting. Some families are resorting to personal loans and credit cards just to stay afloat, putting themselves deeper in the hole. Lenders are already sounding alarms in the Rio Grande Valley. Mortgage applications are down, delinquencies are rising, and repossessed properties are slowly reappearing on the market. But unlike larger cities where wealthier homeowners may have some cushion, McAllen's housing situation is far more delicate. A small drop in income or a slight spike in monthly costs can tip the scales into crisis. And with many households relying on a single income source, the domino effect could spread quickly. In McAllen, the mortgage bloodbath won't make headlines, but it might quietly devastate entire neighborhoods before anyone notices. Number 7. El Paso, Texas, one paycheck away from collapse. El Paso has always been known for its low cost of living and tight-knit community, but that reputation is now being tested. While it didn't experience the same wild price surges as Austin or Dallas, El Paso's housing market quietly climbed over 30% between 2020 and 2023. Many of those buyers were working-class families who stretched their budgets to afford a home, and now they're feeling the strain. With property taxes increasing, insurance premiums rising, and inflation hitting hard, the financial cushion has vanished for thousands of homeowners. What's especially troubling in El Paso is the high percentage of households living paycheck to paycheck. Many families here bought homes during a period of ultra-low interest rates, locking into adjustable-rate or low-equity mortgages. But with resets looming in 2026, those same families could soon see their monthly payments jump by hundreds of dollars, at a time when wages in the area have remained mostly stagnant. The city's economy, while stable, is not as diversified as larger metros, and a slowdown in government contracts or logistics jobs could have an outsized impact. We're also seeing a sharp increase in personal debt across El Paso. Credit card balances are climbing, late payments are on the rise, and lenders are starting to tighten up. The warning signs are there, they're just quieter. It's not the kind of city where headlines scream housing crash, but behind closed doors, families are already making tough choices. Pay the mortgage, pay the car loan, or buy groceries. In El Paso, the mortgage crisis won't explode overnight. It will unfold slowly, silently, and painfully. And by 2026, many families may be facing foreclosure with nowhere to turn. Number 8. Waco, Texas, when the investor boom backfires. Waco has seen a meteoric rise over the past decade, fueled by TV fame, tourism, and a flood of out-of-town investors hoping to cash in on the city's charm and affordability. Once known for its quiet college town vibe, Waco became a hotspot for Airbnb rentals, fix-and-flip projects, and short-term investments. But that gold rush may be over. Many of those properties were bought at inflated prices between 2020 and 2022. And now, as demand cools and tourism slows, investors are trying to sell fast. The problem? There aren't enough buyers anymore. The housing market in Waco is now saturated with inventory, and prices are slipping. For homeowners, especially locals who bought during the boom, this spells trouble. People who stretched their budget to buy in before it's too late are watching their equity disappear. And for those holding adjustable-rate mortgages set to reset in 2026, that's a nightmare waiting to happen. As their monthly payments rise, many will find themselves stuck with homes they can't sell, can't refinance, and soon can't afford. What was once seen as a real estate opportunity is becoming a trap. The fallout is already starting to show. In some neighborhoods, for sale signs are sitting longer, price cuts are more common, and distressed sales are creeping back in. Waco's size and economy make it especially vulnerable. It doesn't have the job diversity or population growth of major metros to absorb the shock. And with investors pulling out, the safety net is gone. What's left is a local market full of ordinary families who may now be holding the bag. Waco boomed too fast, and now it's busting one mortgage at a time. Number 9. Lubbock, Texas. From boomtown dreams to mortgage nightmares. Lubbock has long been a hub for agriculture, education, and small-town values. But beneath the surface, a mortgage crisis is quietly taking root. Over the past few years, the city saw a surge in new residential developments, especially on the outskirts where farmland was quickly transformed into suburban subdivisions. At first, this seemed like smart growth. But now, with homebuyer demand cooling and inventory rising, those same neighborhoods are facing declining home values and rising vacancy rates. A dangerous mix for both lenders and homeowners. Many Lubbock buyers entered the market during the pandemic with low down payments and tight budgets, betting on continued growth. But the market didn't grow, it stalled. Now, as interest rates continue to rise and 2026 looms with thousands of adjustable-rate mortgages set to reset, many families are realizing they're financially overextended. With fewer job opportunities compared to larger Texas cities and limited wage growth, residents are struggling to keep up with rising taxes, utility costs, and insurance premiums. And when that reset hits, monthly mortgage payments could increase by hundreds, with no easy way out. Even local banks are raising red flags. Some are tightening lending standards and quietly preparing for a wave of defaults. In certain neighborhoods, early-stage delinquencies are already on the rise, and property flippers who once saw Lubbock as the next hot market are pulling out, leaving behind half-finished homes and unsold listings. For many homeowners, especially first-time buyers, this is a worst-case scenario. A declining market, rising debt, and no quick fix in sight. Lubbock may not make national headlines, but if current trends continue, it could become a cautionary tale of how fast small city dreams can turn into big financial nightmares. Number 10. Frisco, Texas, luxury living on the edge of collapse. Frisco has been one of the shining stars of North Texas, a symbol of new wealth, master-planned communities, and top-rated schools. It was marketed as the perfect place for families chasing the suburban dream. And for a while, it worked. Home values in Frisco skyrocketed over 50% between 2020 and 2022, attracting tech workers, remote professionals, and high-income buyers from across the country. But now, that growth is showing dangerous cracks. Many of those buyers are holding large mortgages with ballooning monthly payments, and in 2026, a wave of adjustable-rate resets could turn Frisco's dream homes into ticking time bombs. What's alarming is that affluent doesn't mean immune. Many Frisco homeowners stretch themselves thin to buy into the market at its peak, assuming high salaries or future raises would keep them ahead. But with the tech sector cooling, startup layoffs increasing, and inflation eating away at disposable income, that financial cushion is disappearing. Some households now face mortgage payments 30 to 40% higher than what they budgeted for just a few years ago. And with rising property taxes, HOA fees, and insurance costs, even well-off families are beginning to feel the pressure. Meanwhile, the housing market in Frisco is starting to slow. Homes are sitting longer, price reductions are becoming more common, and high-end buyers are growing cautious. If too many homes hit the market at once, it could trigger a luxury-level correction, sending values spiraling and trapping families in homes they can't sell. Frisco's fall wouldn't be loud. It would be quiet, suburban, and deeply personal. And as we head into 2026, it may become one of the most unexpected victims of Texas's looming mortgage meltdown. What we're seeing across Texas isn't just a series of isolated housing issues. It's the early signs of a much larger financial storm. From booming cities like Austin and Frisco to quiet communities like Killeen and McAllen, the pressure is building. And the scariest part? Most people won't realize how deep the trouble goes until it's already too late. 2026 will be a defining year for thousands of homeowners as adjustable-rate mortgages reset, property values soften, and the true cost of living continues to rise. Even those who felt safe with stable jobs and growing neighborhoods are finding themselves on shaky ground, juggling rising payments with shrinking equity. And while each city faces different challenges, the common thread is clear. Financial strain is spreading, and fast. But this isn't about panic. It's about preparation. Whether you're a homeowner, a future buyer, or just watching the market, now is the time to get smart, stay informed, and take action. Review your mortgage terms, build up your emergency fund, and explore refinancing options while you still can. Knowledge is your first defense in a market that's quickly shifting beneath our feet. If this video helped you see the warning signs more clearly, hit that like button, subscribe for more deep dive housing insights, and comment below. Is your city on this list? Or do you think we missed one? And remember, the housing market may look calm today, but beneath the surface, a mortgage bloodbath could already be underway.